I haven't been this size probably in close to 20 years. I called him a caveman because nobody could understand him.
Wow.
I could understand him. I was fluent in caveman. Fluent in caveman. Because he came in one morning and he said, "Melanie, you got gum?" I said, say that, Jay. I said,
Slow down.
I said, "What? Melanie, you got gum?" I said, "Jay,
Gum?
my gun." And he did like he said, "Melanie, you got some gum." I said, "Oh, gum. I got you, Jay." Yeah. And he said, "Pencil, you got pencil." You know, he walked right over to my desk, got his gum and his pencil. But see, we butted heads to begin with. I didn't get to know him. I just thought he was being lazy. And he probably was a little bit.
Yeah. But welcome back to the New Birth Fitness Podcast. I have a guest with me, Betsey. And I would like to call her Miss Consistency. That's the first thing. She's never heard me say it before, but that's the first thing that comes to my mind when I think of her. And just the way she shows up relentlessly over and over again, whether she's sick, whether she's not feeling that great, she got the kids down her back, like whatever it is, she shows up consistently. And I think that's a big part of why you've gotten so many results.
Yes.
That's one of the things that I feel like a lot of people struggle with.
Right.
So I want you to kind of first tell me a little bit about who is Betsey.
I am a wife, a mother of two. I have an 18-year-old and a 14-year-old, and I'm a teacher.
And a teacher.
I just finished my 23rd year of teaching. Ooh. Taught middle school, 1 year of elementary, and high school.
Wow.
So I coached for years, and then I gave up coaching to spend more time with my kids. Yeah, that's who defines me.
What made you first get into teaching in the first place?
Actually, I started being a PE teacher, ironically enough, PE teacher and coach, because I loved PE and I loved teaching how the body works and the movements and all this kind of stuff. And that's really why I started getting into teaching, because I really like the connection with the young people.
Okay.
Not just, having my number in my class, but getting to know them.
You know what I love about this too is like, I've seen you so many times in the gym, but I don't really know a lot about you. Like I know you're a teacher, so it's like we get to dig into some of those things. And even sometimes you like, there's so many other people you see in the gym that's like, you know the face, you might not even know the name, and you definitely don't know the backstory behind like why the person's in there, what are their goals and stuff. So I love that this is really a genuine conversation on like, what all is really going on behind the scenes. Like even that you've been a PE teacher, to me that kind of sounds full circle. The fact that you're now in the gym and going as hard as you go.
Yes.
How much, for starters, I guess tell them like, what was the weight you started at? And then what are you at currently right now? Okay,
I started at 242. And I am now 160.
we might have to find some picture or something and just like insert it right here. Because you look night and day difference from when I first seen you in the gym. And I don't know if I seen you as soon as you first started in the gym or not, probably, because were you going to gridiron the whole time?
Well, I started gridiron, it was Easter, it was Good Friday.
Okay.
Exactly Good Friday.
Yeah, so I remember what you looked like when you first started versus where you're at now is just...
And looking in the mirror, I guess I can tell, but pictures, when I go back and look at memories on Facebook, and I'm like, oh, and even my youngest, it's what's funny, my youngest even came and said, "Mama, look at this picture from a year ago." And I was in the hallway, and I was like, oh, yeah.
See, this is that stuff I tell people about. Even the fact you said, I guess I can see it a little bit in the mirror, I tell people all the time, like, do not just rely only on the scale.
No.
And so many other things, like, you have to take some pictures.
Oh, absolutely.
Right, there's other indicators for sure, but the pictures make a huge difference. Because think about it, you went from 240 something down to 160, and you're talking about, I guess I can see it in the mirror. So your mind will play tricks on you to make you think you're not getting results. And sometimes you could have already been getting results, but you stopped because you thought you weren't. Or you're comparing yourself to somebody else's journey. It's your own journey.
Absolutely.
So how much has that been an impact for you, is taking some of those pictures and things of that nature?
Oh, that is huge. Looking back at memories and the pictures and measurements, taking measurements is huge.
Absolutely.
Because then you can track every month your measurements. And I've lost, I think it's 122 inches total. I mean, It's crazy.
It's amazing.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's that's because when you look at yourself in the mirror, you're used to looking at yourself all the time.
Right. 100%.
But looking at pictures, you can compare.
Yep.
And it's just it's amazing.
Yeah, because even when you first start losing weight, most of the time other people will notice it before you even notice it yourself.
Right.
Because they don't see you as often.
Right.
You
we see ourselves every day.
Every single day. So it's like these little minor. It's like I have a 6-month-old baby. Right, so it's like even the micro changes she's making, you don't really notice. Like, wow, dang, you're so much bigger from this day to that day, but you don't really see it because it's happening at such a it's small, but it's fast.
Yes,
you know what I mean.
Absolutely.
And I feel like it's the same thing with the gym. You don't really see the results, or the same thing with changing eating regimen. Like you don't see it right away, so it makes people want to quit. And I think it kind of a testament to the generation we're in. It's like very like microwave generation. Like everything has to be fast.
Instant gratification.
Exactly. So it's like if it doesn't happen fast, I'm ready to stop.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Oh, that's 100% correctly. I see that with coaching and teaching is they want it right then. It's like sometimes you gotta wait.
Absolutely. Now, a lot of times the best things are the things that you actually waited for.
I tell that.
Because if you get it really fast, it can go away just as fast too.
Absolutely.
So what made you what made you start your journey in the first place? Like, what was that moment where you just like, I can't take this no more?
Yeah.
Or was there that moment where, what is that for you?
There was. About 2 years ago, I was sitting at home, and it was in June. I was at home, and I was sleeping on the couch. It was napping. And all of a sudden, I felt a tap on my shoulder. It was just a tap.
Okay.
And it was hard enough to wake me up, but no one was around. And so I woke up, and I was like, okay, is that my mind playing trick on me or whatever? A few minutes later, I got a phone call. It was my friend. And I got up and I went to my room and I was talking on the phone. And all of a sudden, I noticed, I was sitting on the edge of the bed, I noticed my hand started going numb. And I thought maybe it was because I was holding the phone. So I switched hands, but then my leg was numb. And it was kind of like it was when it fell asleep, but it wasn't pins and needles.
Oh.
So I was like, okay, let me get up. So I started walking around, and it got better. And I got off the phone with my friend. I went back and sat down, and I was sitting on the couch with my feet out, and it came back. And I just started feeling weird. And so I called my brother, my husband, and my son. My oldest were working out of town.
Was it happening on the same side that was touched?
Yes. Same side. So I called my brother, and he was actually in Clinton. I said, something's going on. I think I might need to go to the ER. And he said, okay, I'll be there in a minute. So he went to the ER, and they took my blood pressure, and it was like 200 some over 100. I mean, it was ungodly real. It was unreal how high it was. And so they said, we need to bring your blood pressure down slowly because we don't want to cause a heart attack. So
200 is crazy. I remember even my wife with like preeclampsia and stuff. It was like, I think it was like 160 somewhere in there, and that was dangerous.
Yes.
Let alone 200.
Yeah, it was crazy high. It had never been that high before. So they called my husband, and he was, I think, working in the Charlotte area. And so he started coming home, and they wanted to do an MRI, and they did, or a CT scan. They did a CT scan, and the CT scan said it showed signs of a previous stroke. So it just like hit me.
And you had never had a stroke prior?
No.
Wow.
So it hit me like a ton of bricks, and they said, we're admitting you, and it just was emotional. Because at that time, I was early 40s. I was like, my kids are still young, and I'm pretty much still young. And so I stayed in the hospital for a few days, and they had to tweak my blood pressure medicine, and I was on higher doses. So that was really I had to go to a neurologist because when they read it in Clinton, they said, they did an MRI, and they said there was no signs of a previous stroke, thankfully, but they saw some white matter, which could have been from the high blood pressure, or it could have been a sign of MS.
Wow.
So I had to go see a neurologist, and they did a different MRI with contrast in it. And the neurologist, thank the Lord, said she thought it was because of the high blood pressure for years. And I had been dealing with high blood pressure for years.
Got it.
Even on medication, it would sometimes be running high. But
was that running your family at all?
yes,
Okay.
and my father has it, and his side of the family. And he's also pre-diabetic. and diabetes runs
Is
in
that side of the family, would you say there's more weight on that side of the family too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So that was what really jump started. I came home. I really focused on what I was eating. I would just walk at the house and walk and do stuff like that. Well, school started.
Yep.
And, as parents, we put ourselves last.
Yeah.
And we worried about everything else. And I pushed myself I was doing better. But then my oldest started going to the gym. He started going to Gridiron.
How old is your oldest at that time?
At that time, he was about 16.
Okay, got it.
And he kept saying, Mama, you need to go with me. You need to come with me and we can lift. You need to just come with me. And I was like, I don't know, whatever.
And so at that time, you were around like 240 kind of range? Or, okay, all right.
Yes. And so he was like, just come on. We'll come with you. Every time he came home, he was like, Mama, you really got to go with me.
Wow. So
the day before, because we were starting to get on spring break. The day before, I was like, okay, let's go. So I went and I signed up. And then the next day, the Good Friday, is when we went together. And he was like, try this, try that. And I was like, look, honey, you got, look now.
Slow down.
You got to slow down. Because I had not been in the weight room in a long time.
Right.
So, yeah, that's what really jump-started it. And I've been ever since.
Wow, that is crazy. But it's like that. Sometimes it takes either somebody around us or sometimes it can be just something you see or some health condition. Because really, even if that health scare did not happen, it could have been him saying the same thing, but it's still not happening.
Right.
So sometimes I feel like God puts certain things in our life or certain things that he knows is going to change our heart and the way we look at a situation to push us a certain direction. So in a way, like, I tell people all the time, like, the worst things that happen to you are a lot of times cause the best things to happen to you.
Oh, absolutely.
But if you look at it only as the worst, that's kind of what you get.
Right.
But technically, that was a blessing in disguise for that to happen to you.
It was.
Even a tap on the shoulder.
That tap on the shoulder, and when I made my Facebook page, I was like, I don't know who it was. It could have been the Lord. It could have been my father-in-law that passed. It could have been my grandfather. It could have been my cousin who was killed in Iraq.
Wow.
I mean, it could have been anybody. It could have been an angel. It could have been my guardian angel. I don't know.
God sent somebody.
But God sent somebody. But I literally can still feel it. It was just like a tap right here, right there. And it was hard enough to wake me up.
And that tap started some serious momentum to happen afterwards, didn't it?
Yes, because I think since I was asleep and my phone was on silent, I wouldn't even heard the phone call. And what would have happened if I'd have continued to sleep?
Wow. So when you look back on that situation, like, how much weight does it hold now at this point?
Oh, a ton of weight. It was a wake up. It really was, because you know that you need to do something different, but you don't know where to start or how to start. And I'd been in the weight room since I was in high school. So, and being with PE, biomechanics and exercise phys and anatomy, I know what I need to do. It's just the doing it.
That's the case for most people. We got all kinds of information out there.
Oh, yeah.
So there's more than enough information. Not really not knowing. It's like the doing part.
It's just doing it. And eating habits. I knew the eating habits. We're from the South.
Yeah.
And I cook.
Yep.
And I love to eat good food.
Right.
Good food. But now sitting here, food that I thought was so good and so delicious, it doesn't taste as good anymore.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's like, it's not what I was thinking it was going to be.
It's crazy. It's because our body, our taste buds, like everything, whatever we give it, it's going to crave more of that. So it's always that rough beginning part that, like, when you love those things so much and then you pull back on them a little bit, it's very hard. But after a while, literally your taste buds and everything changes to crave what you... So I can agree that even like things like bacon.
Yeah.
I used to like baking a lot. But if I would just have I can still have it every now and then, but just baking in general all the time, it's just very greasy now.
Yeah.
To where I actually personally like turkey bacon better if I'm just eating it regular on the side. But if I'm having a burger or something like that, I don't want no turkey bacon
Right.
on my burger. You know what I mean?
Bacon.
There you go. And I'm on the same page. Like, I love to eat as well. So I definitely was I work out to eat well, you know, kind of thing.
Right.
You know.
Well, and then portions, that
Huge.
really huge. That changed with me because, I mean, I love potatoes.
Yep.
I love potatoes. I love rice. I love all the carbs we're not supposed to have a lot of.
Yep.
Because, you know, I teach foods and I'm like, you're only supposed to have about the size of your palm, you know, pasta. Well, let's face it, we get more than that on our plates.
Absolutely.
So I'll just do one serving, or I just eat one. Like if I have rice, I'll have a little bit of rice, but I won't eat another helping of rice. It's just enough to get that taste.
Gotcha.
I'll have another helping of zucchini.
Absolutely. It's not about sacrificing everything you love. You can definitely enjoy some of the same things you love that might have helped get you to that point.
Absolutely.
But done in the right way, you absolutely kind of offset
Right.
it. What was that beginning journey? So you said you got started in the gym, right, with your son. What was that beginning journey like as far as the ups and downs and just what went on kind of during that part? And I'm sure your son probably wasn't in there with you the whole time.
No,
either.
he wasn't. He wasn't. I think I started posting on Facebook. I started posting, you know, got worked out. And when I look back at my memories, I would say I did 2.5 miles a day. And it's now I'm doing 10. And it's
I literally see you up there every day like clockwork. Not only in the gym, it's you take a picture of walking in the gym or on the treadmill or something. It's I got my workout in today. I did this amount of miles. I got this. And I feel like people probably, if you just went away for a week, they probably where's Betsey at?
Yeah, but that helped me because they would comment.
Yeah.
And then later on, it started saying, "You're inspiring me." And I'm like, wow. I was really doing it to keep myself in check.
Yep.
To keep myself okay, I need to post because if I don't post, they're going to think I didn't do anything. And I did. Wow. So
absolutely.
So it's this, it just helps keep me in check.
I love that. I want you to talk about that a little bit, right? I feel like so many people, they want to wait to post or show where they're currently at until after they're already where they want to be.
Right.
So it's I have the flat stomach now. I have the toned legs now. I feel good about myself when I look in the mirror now. I'm going to post then at that point. What can you say about the side of the importance of doing it before you're there?
Yes, post your journey. Post it. If people don't care, let them scroll. Post your journey because other people, I didn't realize other people saw themselves in me.
Yep.
And which makes sense because I see myself in other people. So it makes sense.
Yep.
A full circle moment, the light bulb goes off.
Yep.
But post your journey. And who cares if some people are like, "Oh, she's posted again." Well, it's not about them.
Yep.
So much. It's about yourself and how yourself is feeling. And it was just an affirmation for me.
And you're going to attract who's meant to be there, and you're going to repel who's not meant to be there.
Exactly.
That is okay. That's perfectly by design.
Exactly. So post your journey from the very first day. Post away.
Yep. And people care more about when they see the journey.
Oh yeah.
Then you're already there.
Right.
Because there's so many in between, especially nowadays, did the person get surgery?
Right.
Did they have weight loss shots? Is this Photoshop? There's just so many different things. Is this AI?
Yeah.
So it's when they get to see the journey, it's oh no, this is real. This is authentic.
Yeah.
I've seen that they were posting for a while and now they're not, or they're sharing some of their struggles, some of their difficulties.
Right.
I feel like so many things are so cookie cutter.
Oh yeah.
That people feel like it just worked out perfectly for this person.
Right.
Or they always had it this way.
Right.
So them seeing it from the beginning, it does inspire others. You might not think in the beginning who would want to see me at this current weight or not really know what I'm doing. That's actually what people love to see.
Oh, absolutely. Because I think about, for me, when I look at a movie or when I look at a athlete's life or whatever, I like the middle part.
Yeah.
I don't like the ending. I like that middle part to see what's going on and how they got there and all that stuff. So, yes.
That's the perfect example too, because why do we like movies so much?
Yeah.
It's the story that's told.
story.
It's not we
Right.
just jump to the
You don't wanna
end,
jump to
fast
the
forward.
end.
You don't jump to the
No.
end. It's the story that pulls
Right.
you in. Matter of fact, to the point, that's why they give you the backstory.
Yes.
They give you all the bad about the character, how they
Yes.
don't really know their worth, and all these different things, and it builds you up because we can see ourselves
Right.
in that story.
Right.
And so that's what makes us want to go watch it over
Yes.
and over
Yes.
again. So I love that you did that. I mean, to the point that technically, if you were not doing that, we're probably not even here right now.
No.
It's those little details.
Right.
Because I was able to see
Right.
that she's showing up consistently.
Yes, because the people commenting, you know, I don't know how you get up that early. Or then when I would go to school, I'd tell my students, they were like, Miss Lane, I'm so tired. I'm like, look here, I don't want to hear nothing. I got up at 4:30 this morning, did so and so, and did my miles. They're like, Miss Lane, you did all that this morning? I said, sure did. So.
Yep, absolutely. And they get to see the result. Like, she's not just talking to talk.
Right.
We see her visibly changing.
Yeah.
Here's the proof she even posted about it.
Yeah.
Here's the picture. So it's like, they can't even say, oh, somebody's just talking just to talk.
Right.
And that's what you'll find too, is like, when you become a person that doesn't really make a lot of excuses, you also stop accepting excuses from other people.
Absolutely. Oh, because there was some mornings, it's like, oh, I'm so tired, 4:30, you know. But no, go ahead. Just the getting out of the bed is the hard part.
And the worst part about excuses is like, when you tell yourself that excuse over and over again, which excuse is an easy word of saying a lie.
A lot, yeah.
Because technically you're lying to yourself.
Yeah.
And if you lie to yourself over and over again, eventually it becomes the truth
You start
to
believing
you.
it. You start believing it.
It's the truth to you, but everybody else looking at you, even if they don't make a comment, they know it ain't real.
Oh yeah, because when I was at my heaviest, it's like, it's okay if I eat those hot dog and the cheeseburger.
Yep.
Which now I couldn't eat. I can barely eat one hot dog because your stomach shrinks.
There you go. It's changing to what you do.
It's changing. So, and it's the mindset too. Is
Absolutely.
when I go someplace and I order something, I find myself thinking about ordering the same thing as I did before.
Yeah.
And my husband or my youngest are like, "Mommy, you can't eat that."
Now you got your accountability circle at this
You're
point.
right. I can't eat that.
There you go.
Yeah, it's amazing to see the progress in just your mind.
That's one of the most important parts.
Yeah.
Like, as much as you lost all this weight, I have no doubts that the part that changed the most was your mental.
Oh,
because
yeah.
if your mental did not change, you're not even where you're
Oh
at
yeah,
right
because
now.
because I think about now when we eat something like, I don't want that, or I need to eat this more. I need to have water instead of the Coke Zero, or you start thinking about what you're eating more so. Even I do. Even when at home, I'm like, I'm hungry, but what do I want to say? Oh, Cheerios.
Wow.
I'll have a Cheerios. Just plain. And my students in school are like, you're eating plain Cheerios? I'm like, yeah, I like plain Cheerios. It's not Honey Nut or Frosted, but I like plain Cheerios.
What were some of the things that even earlier on that like were the excuses you now recognize that you would make earlier on that now you realize is the opposite?
I'm too tired, or I got too much going on. I don't have enough time. That was the big one. I don't have enough time. That is the huge one.
Absolutely.
Because
Heard so many times.
I mean, I would leave, and I know there's a ton of teachers. I would leave home at 7 or a few minutes before 7, and then I'd get home about 4 o'clock, and then homework and practices and suppers and all that kind of stuff. So I was like, I got to do it in the morning.
Yeah.
I've got to do it before the day gets really, really going.
Absolutely.
So I started getting up at 4:40, and then I was like, I need more time. I want to add more time because I wanted to get to that 10 miles.
Yep.
So I was like, okay, let's back it up to 4:30. So I started getting up at 4:30, and sometimes if I woke up at 4:15 and come back, I just go ahead and get up. I just go ahead and get up and go to the gym. 3:30, I just go ahead and get up.
And then you, prior to you starting that, if you would have told you would have been like, absolutely, there ain't no way. If somebody would have told you later you'd be doing 10 miles and waking up at 4 a.m. and all of a sudden you'd be like,
no.
Hush your mouth.
No, I'd be like, no way, because I always hated cardio.
Yeah.
Always hated cardio. Always hated it. So so now it's, and then going to the gym and talking to you and another older gentleman.
Yep.
I don't know his name. He's got his hair
gray hair.
braided in a long hair ponytail.
Can't think of you talking about right now. I definitely see him in there, but I don't know his name or anything.
Yeah, he just would come up to me. He's like, "You're crushing it." It's just, it was just okay. So other people see it now.
There you go. So let's even that, right? So when you kind of listed out some of the different excuses and things of nature that came up. Okay, so when you started, did you start getting more praise from people online first or kind of in person first? Online. So what was it like in the phase of when you first started going on this journey of losing weight, making changes when it comes to working out and eating? What was your family and friends around you saying earlier on?
Well, my husband has been my biggest supporter.
Wow.
He tells me constantly, "I'm so proud of you."
Wow.
I'm so proud of you. And then my oldest, he was my biggest cheerleader at the beginning too, because we would go into the gym and we would do benching, and he was my spotter. And I'm like, "Garrick, I don't know if I can do that." He's like, "Mama, you got it. Mama, you got it." And he's like, "See, you got it." So he was a really big catalyst. And then my youngest, he started getting up before school and working out at home. And he was in 8th grade.
Yep.
And he started working out. And so by the time I'd get home from the gym, he was already done with his workout. And now he goes outside and he lifts weights, and he'll go to a buddy's house and he'll lift, and he's into really lifting now. And my parents were the same way, and my aunts, they were like, "You look like you did in high school." I'm like, "You got your glasses on."
Like, okay, I'm doing great, but hold on now.
I was like, "You got your glasses on." But they were a big supporter, and my coworkers, my close coworker Susan Mills, she would say, "I'm so proud of you," and and even my students. I was walking down the hallway, and one of my students came up behind me like, "Miss Lane, you lost a lot of weight. What are you doing?" And as I tell them, they're like, "That's awesome. That's amazing. Keep it up." You know, so, and then even some of the athletes, the softball players, volleyball players who I'm close with,
from all angles.
Oh, they come up to me, they give me a hug. "Miss Lane, you look amazing, and you go girl, you girl, whatever." And
did you have any people that was on the opposite side of the spectrum? Maybe saying, you don't need to lose any more weight, or you're good just how you are. Any of that? That's powerful.
None.
Wow.
None. Because with me teaching foods and nutrition, we talk obviously about nutrition, but we talk about activity, physical activity, how much activity teenagers need to be getting a week, and I tell them
perfect alignment now.
Oh yeah, and I tell them, for the first time ever, I had a class this past semester that had more boys in it than I had girls.
Wow.
I was in and it was athletes.
Yeah.
So we talk about athlete nutrition. We talk about eating beforehand, before games, and I tell the girls, we talk about weights. I'm like, my athlete girls, or even my non-athletic girls, y'all need to be lifting. Even if it's just your own body weight, even if you're just doing squats, standing squats. But you need to be lifting. You need to be doing some type of activity.
Kids getting that at a young age is so powerful.
And I'm like, the older you get, you're going to lose muscle mass the older you get. So you need to be doing some type of lifting, whether it's the resistance bands, own body weight, even a 5-pound weight. Doing something.
Start where you are.
Yes. Do something. I was like, if you want help, ask me. I'll give you some ideas. And a couple of them actually came up to me and asked me, after class, when everybody left, they didn't want anybody to hear, and they came up and asked me, like, "Miss Lane, what do you recommend us doing?" And I was like, "Well, have you ever lifted before?" And they're like, "No." I was like, "Just go to the side and get against a wall and do work on your form and get squats down pat." Or
I love what you said there. Even that just shows like your natural teaching ability. I feel like one thing that people sometimes will jump to is like, when somebody asks you, "What should I do?" the first thing they do is start telling them things of what they should do. And it's like the first thing you ask is, where are you currently at?
Right.
Whatever you currently know. That's where you have to start. Any good teacher, you have to start there. Because other than that, it's be like, you go into the doctor's office, and as soon as you walk in, they diagnose you with something. What do you mean?
Really.
But I feel like so many people do diagnoses on people's life and what you should do without asking questions first. The doctor has to say, what are your symptoms?
Yes.
What are you going through?
How
long has it been going
Yeah.
on? Like, you got to do those things to give the right medication.
Right. Right.
So if you have anybody that's just putting all these things in your head and they don't know anything about what you're going on, like what you have going on, your journey,
Right.
like, don't take that advice.
Right.
And especially don't take advice from people that are not doing the thing you're doing
Right.
or have experience in it.
Right.
It'd be like you going to a pallet to get advice on what you should do for the gym.
Right.
It doesn't make sense.
Right.
It doesn't make sense.
Right.
And I love that, like, you probably have one of the more, I don't know that I've heard too many people like, I got basically all positive from almost every angle.
Mm-hmm.
I've like a lot of people either get some of that, like they might get some positive and then they get the negative, but then they focus on the negative.
Uh-huh.
Or you get some people that get all negative, and then when the positive comes in, it's almost just kind of like pushed out the way.
Right.
What would you say to somebody that maybe they didn't have as much support? What would you say to that person as far as how they could go about moving forward?
Always focus on the positive. Mm-hmm. Always focus on negative. The positive is the hard part.
Yep.
The negative's always going to be there.
Yep.
I mean, in this world, the negative's always going to be there.
So you turn on TV, look at your phone.
Yes, negative's always there. But positive's always what gets pushed to the side or pushed to the back. But always try to focus on the positivity. Prayer is my big thing. I pray all the time throughout the day.
Yep.
Throughout the day. And at night, you know, I always begin with the positive. I always for the thankfulness first. And always, and even if you find that one person that's always positive, cling to that one person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my husband, I was very fortunate to have so much positivity.
Yep.
But then you can self-sabotage.
Absolutely.
That's always been my problem is self-thinking. And you have to just change the way you're thinking. And at the beginning, it was the same way. And I still have some self-sabotage.
Mm-hmm. I think we all do. I think it's just a matter of, are you aware of it or not? And when you're not aware of it, that's when it's the most dangerous because you want to point the blame on everybody else as the reason why you're not where you want to be.
Yes. So hang on to that positivity, even if it's just one person or even it's just getting up in the morning and being active. That's a huge positive.
Absolutely.
Just getting out of bed.
You've already done more than so many other people have done before they even wake up. You already conquer the day.
Right.
From the very beginning.
Yes. Find your routine. Your routine is totally different from somebody else's routine. Your routine might be going at 10 o'clock at night.
Yep, absolutely.
I'd have some friends who are like, I can't work out in the morning. I can do late at night. And I'm like, I can't because then I'm too wired. I can't go to sleep.
There you go.
So morning time is better for me because then it gets my day going.
Yep. And some of our we can'ts change into cans when you really get into it.
Yes.
Like so many times, you've told yourself, I've told myself, to give you a prime example of that. Once upon a time, I would have never even got to see you in the gym because I would not have been there.
Right.
It's way too early. I literally remember saying, I cannot work out early in the morning.
Right.
I'm over there yawning. Like, this just is not for me. Mm-hmm. I remember swearing to myself, I'm never doing that again. Next thing, now I'm in there every single morning around the same kind of time.
That's right.
Training people or working out myself, whatever it is.
That's right.
And that's something I said I can't do and I won't do.
Right.
That's why I'm a very big stickler on that now. We don't use the word can't. We don't try. No, like, you're going to do it or not do it.
Yeah,
One of
well,
the two.
and it's funny you say you can't use the word can't because when I was younger, I did gymnastics. I did gymnastics for 10 years. And at the gym I went to, can't was not a word. If you said can't, you had laps or you had push-ups or you had pull-ups. If that was a dirty word. You didn't. That was a bad word. So, you know, I guess it was instilled in me back then, and it kind of got lost because, you know, when you get into an adulthood, you start thinking about everybody else other than yourself.
Yep.
Your kids.
I love it. A client would be like, I can't. I said, what'd you say?
Yeah, that's right.
What'd you say? And if they say it again, now they are getting extra stuff because it's like, it causes more focus to it. Our words are very powerful. Whatever you're putting out there, that's exactly what you're going to start bringing to life. Because it's going to control everything you do because those words are only coming out of you because that's what you believe inside in the first place.
Yeah, that's your mindset.
So I'm just saying, and so when I've seen it happen so many times, even on the sides of like, every single, I could probably count on one hand the times that a client says they can't do something that I'm giving them, that they actually weren't able to do it.
Right. Right.
Like literally every single time it's like proving yourself wrong and wrong again. So it's like, all right, how many times do you have to prove yourself wrong before it sticks that is a lie?
Right.
So it's like, but it's like, soon as you say can't, it's the easy way out because you cut yourself off from any thinking after that.
Yes.
It just stops.
Yes.
So when you say I can, or I think I might be able to, now you start having to think about other options of how I can make it work.
Right.
Versus saying, I don't have time to work out. Now you cut yourself off from all options, it's easy.
Right.
But the problem about that is, it's like, it's easier on the front end, but it's harder on the back end.
Right.
When maybe your quality of life isn't as good.
Oh, yeah.
Your health isn't as good. Maybe you don't get to live as long. Maybe you have a lot of doctor visits. Like, that's the hard that comes on the back end by not doing the hard thing first. So it's like, if you do the hard first, it actually makes the later easier.
It absolutely does. It absolutely does. I never, like I said, I never would have thought me getting up at 4:30 in the morning, you know, to go work out. But it's gotten during the school year, it gets to the point where I get to work and the kids are like, Miss Lane, did you work out this morning?
Wow.
They expect it.
Yeah.
You're like, Miss Lane, how many miles did you do this morning? You know, so they help keep me accountable.
And you build that expectation for people. You built that. Now, even I can start it by saying misconsistency. I ain't give anybody else that label, right? But you built that expectation for other people because you've shown up so much. So sometimes, even if you don't have any support at all, if you keep showing up when there is no support, you'll find that there will be support there later.
Oh,
it just
absolutely.
takes time of you showing up for yourself first.
Absolutely.
You gotta think about how many people have seen people start, stop, stop, so many things, including themselves. So it's almost like, yeah, I hear you. You're gonna start again.
Yeah,
I hear you. But when you've been showing up for month after month, and most people stop after a week, 2 weeks, or a month tops, and you've been doing it for 6 months, a year, 2 years, it's like, oh, they're serious about this.
Right. Yeah,
You know?
I put in my calendar on my phone 1 year, or I did 6 months in the gym, and then I did 1 year in the gym, and you know, it was just, I'm big on goals too, and so I wanted to get to that year to see what the difference was.
Wow. So how far are you in now?
I'm in not quite a month and a half. I mean, a year and a half.
Year and a half. Wow.
Yeah, not quite a year and a half.
Ooh. And I imagine, like, even right now, I didn't get to speak to you prior to you having the realization of, I'm going to start this, but I can imagine you probably didn't have as much life in you. Like, even the way you speak right now, it's like there's a lot of positivity and like you can see a different kind of mindset just pouring off of you.
Right, yeah.
What was it like prior? Was this the way you speak and the way you showed up, the way you looked at yourself? Like, what was that like prior?
Prior was a lot of negativity towards myself. I was very critical of myself. Excuses. Tons of excuses. I'll start again, you know, at this date, and then that date comes and didn't start. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time was the biggest one. It was the biggest one. I don't have enough time, or I walk all the time. I walk all the time at school. I'm getting steps in, but it's a different kind of walking because I'm not getting my heart rate up, and I need to get my heart rate up into that zone where it's burning fat. And I know all this stuff because of taking PE courses, biomechanics, and the exercise phys. I knew all this stuff. It's just I was lying to myself. I wasn't telling myself the truth. And when I finally stepped foot in the gym for that first time, and I love gridiron, and I say all the time, gridiron is what helped save me. I mean, I felt welcome. I felt at home. And even
shout out to gridiron.
Yes, huge shout out and to Jairus, because I actually was in there on a Saturday, and Jairus came up to me and said something to me, and he's known my mom. He went to school with my brother, and he's known my mom because my mom was a teacher. And so, and she now sees him in the tax office sometimes. And so he actually said something, and he was like, I'm awesome, you know, showing up every day. And I was like, I love it here. And I've been to a lot of different gyms. I've been to the big gyms when I lived in Virginia, like huge 2-story gyms. I'd rather go to gridiron. It feels more home. It felt more like home. And being comfortable is huge.
Yep.
And, when I started talking to other gentlemen, it's because I was doing the pulleys. And it was so high up and I was so short. Now I can reach it.
Yeah.
But before I couldn't because of the weight. And
There you go.
I went over there and I was like, can you move this down for me? And he went over there and did it for me. And that just sparked the conversation.
Yeah.
And now we talk all the time when we see each other in the gym. So, and when I'd be on the treadmill, my husband would go past and he'd say, I see you on the treadmill.
Wow. I love that. Like, so many times people come to the gym thinking like, this person is judging me.
Yes.
Like I feel like it's this overthinking of
Yes.
I'm gonna look stupid and all these different kind of things. And like, once again, a lot of stuff is internal.
It's internal.
People in their own worlds, they have their own goals, their own reasons for being in there.
Absolutely internal. Because I was the same way.
Yep.
At my heaviest, I was like, people are looking at me trying to do this or she should be doing more weight than that or whatever.
Yep.
And it's the mindset. And even people have asked me about going to, they're like, I don't like going. I'm like, no one is looking at you.
Yep.
Everybody is about themselves because they're thinking the same thing you're thinking.
Yep.
Some of them. And I told him, I was like, that's why I like gridiron, because if I need help doing something, there's plenty of people around that would help to do it, and they're not judging me.
You would literally be surprised. The same people you think they're probably thinking something about, if you ask them for help.
Oh, absolutely.
It'd be like, and they'll be willing to help you right away. At any gym, you'd be surprised, but a lot of it is internal in so many kind of ways.
Yeah.
And this is why I always harp on the mindset. Like, if you watch any of the videos, that's one of the biggest things I harp on, because I feel like so many people say, do these workouts, eat this way. But no amount of me telling you that, if you don't work on the mindset part, you're not going to do those things anyway.
Right.
Like, this is the part I feel like that's really undervalued, because the way you're speaking, the confidence, the energy, what's pouring off of you, that's stuff that was not there before, that is highly present now, to the point that people wouldn't even think that you used to be the other way.
Right.
That's how strong it is.
Well, I mean, stuff that I do in the gym now, it's like this machine, I would have never thought. Pull-ups, I would have never thought to do that. And now I do it. It's like, it's the confidence. I'm going to try that. I'm going to try this weight and see how I do with this weight. Just to see, can I do this weight?
That just reminded me. Perfect segue. So I want to hear, right? So because I've seen you showing up so consistent, and I had never done this before. I've seen you showing up so consistently over and over again. I'll speak to you, say, good job, keep it going. And there was just one time, it was just on my heart, probably like that tap you had on your shoulder, just on my heart to say, reach out to her and ask her. And it's up to her if she doesn't want it or not, but give her a few sessions, no charge, anything. Just reward her for how amazing she's doing, right? See what you can do to help assist in her process.
Yeah.
So what was your first thoughts like when I reached out to you to say I would do that?
It was like, yay, amazing. I know, I was very excited because I had seen you in there with other clients and I was excited. I was like, yes, I would love to do that just to see what I need to tweak and what I need to work on. And when we did the squatting and we did the bench press and doing that weight that I hadn't done since I was in high school or college, probably since college, it was reaffirming. Okay, I've been working. I've been doing. I'm stronger than I thought I was, physically strong and mentally. And then doing the pull-ups. I had never done the pull-ups since probably gymnastics.
Yeah, I remember you like, pull-ups? What are you talking about? I think I told you, I was like, this is a lot of people's favorite exercise.
And
you're like, I don't think, like, something about me tell me this is not going to be right.
I know, I was like, nah, somebody lying to you. So now I'll do that, and I'll actually turn my grips around, and I'll do like 5 with one grip, and then the other one, and I like doing pull-ups now with the machine, and I'll even come home and I'll tell my oldest, I did 10 pull-ups like this, and he's like, gives me a high five. And
what was the biggest thing you noticed, like, before we did that first workout today? Even then, because at that point you had made a good amount of transformation already, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, what was the big things you noticed, even at that point, after all the growth, where it was like, these are the things that were still holding me back that you noticed even with working out that it wasn't aligning with what you thought?
Well, it was still mindset.
Yep.
Mindset was still there.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can physically do that yet. I'm going to get there. I don't know if I can do that yet. And I did it.
Yep.
And it was surprising. So even then, the mindset was still changing.
Yep.
And you know, seeing that and how far I've come from that, even from then.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
See, and that's what I love too. Like, I feel like in regular day-to-day life, we can either, if somebody tells us something, we can be like, that ain't true. Or it's like, that's the way you look at it, but I don't look at it that way. But what I love about the gym is like, if you tell me you can't do something, or there's no way you can do something, and I say, yes, you can, and then I allow you to prove it to yourself.
Right.
You can't argue that.
Right.
You can't argue that I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
You proved it to yourself that you actually can. You
Right.
just never actually tried to do it.
Right.
So once again, it goes back to the mindset. If you believe in your head, there's no way I can do this. There's no point in me even trying because I know it's going to go bad. You already cut yourself out before you even gave yourself a chance. So now the way you're thinking is affecting what you're going to do or not do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, that's always been the what ifs. I've always, because anxiety and
Yep.
I don't want to go here, I don't want to travel there because what if this happens or what if that happens? And so it's still, I'm working on that part of my mindset.
Yeah.
But my gym mindset is, I'm going to try that. I'm going to try this. So it's totally changed. And I would have never probably done that pull-up thing if you hadn't done. I probably never would have done it.
But that's why I love stuff like that though, because it's like, it's actually less about the pull-up than it is what I know it's doing to you internally.
Right.
Especially for women too, because like, a lot of women already believe they don't have any upper body strength. And I'm forcing you to do something that probably requires the most upper body strength out of almost anything else.
Right.
And he's asking me to do this right now.
Yeah.
And so when you do that consistent, I literally taking women from they can't do a pull-up at all to now can do 15.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, so I have no doubts that your first pull-up is coming.
Yeah, I'm gonna get there.
You know, it's coming. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but it's like, once again, it's like like I just told somebody this the other day. You have to be okay with like sucking at something long enough until you can actually get good at it.
Yeah, that's true.
Most people are not willing to suck at something long enough. It's like, I suck, it doesn't feel good, so they're ready to move on.
Right.
If you sit in that for a while, you'd be surprised at how far you can go.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I totally get that. But yeah, I'm gonna get there.
It's coming. It's coming. I mean, it's coming. So what would you say has been the biggest impact, like, on before we worked out, right? You had those different things. So you got to see things for your upper body, for your lower body, goals moving forward. You got to ask a couple questions. What do you feel like has changed and stuck with you the most since then?
I would say, well, definitely the pull-ups, the full body working out, and just pushing myself. Yeah. Just, not doing the easy stuff, not doing the easy workouts. Yep. Like on leg press, I know I can do 130. I do 130, 2 different types on the leg press. Yep. So then I know I can do 130. Well, I'm gonna up the weight and do at least one set at 145 or 140. Because I know I can. Am I gonna do the easy way out, or am I gonna push myself and get stronger? So.
So it help you like compound what you're already doing, which takes you farther. Right. Like a lot of these little incremental things, it seems small, but when you do this on a day-to-day basis, it takes you to a completely different trajectory. Yes. Yes. I love that. Yes. Right. But I can definitely, even from then, I can see a huge transformation from that point versus before that point. Yeah. So I love that you're doing that, and I'm sure that we probably got to get in there again. I'm sure there's some other tweaks and stuff in there that can make a huge difference as well. But I definitely love like how far you've gone with the journey, how consistent you've been with it. You even tell me what about because you kind of started talking about a little bit, right? Your doctor visits. Like, give me some of the things of like what it was like in the beginning versus now.
Yes,
like,
I still don't like going to the doctor.
Yeah, right.
But, it went from, I was always so scared about my blood pressure being high. Yep. But now sometimes it's on the too low spectrum. So I'm actually off one blood pressure medicine completely, and then another one is the dose is cut in half. So I'm getting there. I want to be off of it, but doctor said he didn't know because of family history.
Yeah.
But I go in, and I actually went last week or a couple of days ago, and my doctor was he was actually like happy. He was like, it's amazing, your transformation. And he said, keep it up. Keep up what you're doing. He asked me what I was doing. I told him what I was doing at the gym and the cardio and the water and not snacking. And if I do snack, it's like Cheerios or just a pickle or something. It's not a bag of chips.
Crazy,
And we do blood work every time because he wants to stay on top of blood pressure. So I go every so often. I think it's about every probably 4 months or so I go. And this past time when I did the blood work, when it comes in on my app, I'll have the dates and I'll write down all my scores.
Yeah.
And it's been increasingly getting better and better. Wow. And so last night on a whim, I was like, I want to compare my latest one to like my earliest one, and I think I chose September.
Okay.
And my triglycerides are down like over 200 points. I mean, my triglycerides right now are like on the low end.
Wow.
My kidney function was what and he's been concerned about my kidney function for a while now. My kidney function has gone up over 10 points from September. So my kidneys are better. My cholesterol, my A1C went down over 10 points. I think it's 12 points. My A1C is like 4 now.
Wow.
So,
that's
crazy. All my labs have gone down.
And I can only imagine even your cortisol levels. Like if there's, I don't know, if there was a way that in the beginning you would get your cortisol levels versus now, I can only imagine how different they are because that's the stress you hold on to on a day-to-day basis. And you'd be surprised at how much that affects your internal organs and all these different things when they're constantly under load from being stressed and negative about everything versus being more positive. It's not saying it's not saying that the negative doesn't exist.
Right.
It's just you're not focusing on that being the only thing.
Right. Yeah. So just seeing, I checked my phone, like, I want to see the results. So those results, I was sitting there and I was like, oh my gosh, just comparing the results from September to now, it's amazing. It just going to the gym and controlling my eating, and I was eating. I loved fast food. Yeah. Now I barely eat fast food.
It's crazy.
And it doesn't taste good anymore. And so the A1C, because my father has issues with his A1C, and he's pre-diabetic, and he's not. If you look at him, he doesn't look.
That's how it usually goes.
Yeah, and he's on blood pressure medicine. And my mom's the exact opposite. She's not on blood pressure medicine, but she has the physical. She needs knee replacement. She has those things, those issues. So, just the getting active and the controlling what I can control.
Yep, absolutely.
And
it's huge.
that the blood work, that's reaffirming that what I'm doing is working. Yeah. And I'm gonna keep doing it.
Yeah, no, that's very huge. I mean, there's so many times that you don't get a chance to get to that point when you just don't take the first step.
Right.
I'm sure you've probably inspired more people than you could imagine. That there's people that they may never like a post or they may never comment, but you're impacting them on a day-to-day basis and planting seeds that help them change. Or even if they don't change at this moment, there's some that change it later. I remember when Betsey said, well, it's a student, and because you've been a teacher and a mom, there's just so many lives you impacted in so many different ways. Like even the seeds you plant in your kids. Like if you didn't plant certain things in your sons, they would have never been pushing you to try to get you in the gym in the first place.
Right.
But because of the things you put in them and the kind of person, he's like, no, I want to see my mom win too. But if you raise them a different way, even if he was working out, he might not push you as much. It's like, come on, I done said it again, come on, Mom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So even giving yourself credit for that, as much as he did help you, you also helped him to help you.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought about that.
So it just comes from so many different layers. So you never know what seeds you're planting right now that causes a whole forest to come about later.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, we had a recent example right now that you had a friend that you as a teacher, fellow colleague, that you recommended to reach out to me.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about her and like why you told her to reach out to me.
Okay, Miss Bird, she's amazing. But we had gone to a conference, and she was telling me how she has to have double knee replacement, and I understand because my mom had knee replacement, and she's like, but I need to lose some weight before they can do it, and we were talking at school, and she's like, she had seen her video, and she said, tell me more about that. She said, because I've been to here and I've been to there, and they say they can't do anything because of my knees, and she was just, frustrated.
No, they tell me to lose weight, but they're not helping me lose
not
weight.
helping me.
But then also, how am I gonna lose weight if I can't use my legs really that much because my knees? It's like this.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you want me to do? It's like, So I said, give Shiloh a call. I said, I guarantee you. He will, tweak some things. He will help you. I guarantee you he will. I said, just call him. And so I sent her your name, and I said, have you called her? Have you called him? Have you reached out? And then summer happened, and then I'm so glad. I know she's had some stuff going on, but
and you keep going that, right? But like, what gave you such confidence, like to guarantee I would help her or be able to help her? And this was without us having any. I didn't even know she was coming. We didn't have no conversation at all.
I hadn't even told you yet.
Yeah, you hadn't told me anything. She just popped up and was like, "Hey, Betsey told me about you." And like, so what gave you that? Like, I guarantee. Like, what was that?
Well, I told her. I said because I'd seen you in the gym and I'd seen you working with multiple people of different ages. And I said, I knew you would modify things because I'd seen you modify things in the gym. And I knew your positivity, and I knew that's what she needed.
Wow.
And she was going to need somebody to be positive, but also somebody was going to push her. And somebody, because she's matter of fact as well. She doesn't mince words, and I love that.
Love that. Me too.
I love that about her.
Kind of people right there.
She doesn't mince words, and I knew you weren't going to do that either, and you were going to be truthful with her. And I told her, I was like, I know. Wow. I know without a doubt he will help you. And I'm so glad. I actually messaged her yesterday. Wow. I said, I'm so glad you took that first step. I said, you are going to crush it. You are going to be amazing.
Absolutely.
You're going to crush it. You just keep at it. And she responded and said thank you and hearted my message. And when we get back to school, I know we'll talk more. But, but I'm so glad she got in there to do it. And
and there's so many things that happen typically before like right when transformation is around the corner. A lot of times, one of three things kind of happen, or sometimes all of them. It's like either something with your health, something with finances, or something with relationships. Happens where you're like, I'm just about to start working out, or I'm just about to go after this job, or just about to start this business, whatever it is. One of those three things happen. And I feel like that's God's way of like testing you, like
absolutely.
Like, is now really the time for you or not? And I feel like in a way it's like this shaking of trees. If you weren't ready for it yet, one of those things is gonna knock you off the course. Then life's gonna happen. And you're gonna come back to the same thing over and over. So it's like this cycle that repeats until you break it. And so I think the main difference between the people who are successful and the ones who are not is the people who are successful, they found a way to work through those situations that come up versus using those reasons. And I mean, because there are reasons, but they can also be excuses, right? Because there's people that have the same situation or worse that are still going after the thing that matters to them. So it's like the difference is the people that push through that and find a way. It's like, okay, maybe it didn't work this route the way I was going to do it, but I can do it this way over here.
So, there's more than one way.
So she had that kind of stuff going on with her daughter and like in a coma and like all these different things and just like, there's a lot of stuff going on to then still reach back out to me after she got back and said like, now is the time.
Good. I'm just so glad. I'm so happy for her, and I'm so happy that she reached out and that she's with you, and you're able to get help get her to that place.
Yeah.
Because I told her, I can still remember where we were standing. We were standing on the the second floor up against the wall, and we were looking over, and I looked at her and I said, give Shiloh a ring.
Wow.
I said, message him. I said, he'd be perfect for you.
That's crazy.
And she said, you think, in her,
in her British accent.
in her accent. And I said, yes, I know without a doubt. I said, he will modify it. I said, if anybody will help you, he's going to help you.
Wow, that's huge.
And I'm just so glad she did it.
Because that was one of the first things she told me on the phone. She was like, I went this person, they said no, they can't help me. This person can't help you. This person can't help you. This person can't. I'm just like, all right, let me just hear what you got. Like, and then when she was telling me all the things she had going on, I understood why the other people said no.
Yes, and I
understood.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, okay, I got you.
Yeah, I understood, but I told her, I was like, I see where they're coming from.
Yeah.
I understand, because with my mother too, and her knee, and I understood. I said, but just reach out to him. I was like, I said, what's it gonna hurt?
Yeah.
It's not gonna hurt anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I knew. I was like, he'll modify something.
See, it's that impact. Once again, it's like, that's just one example of, I already know. Like, I have no doubts that at least tens, but more than likely hundreds of people you've already impacted in some kind of way, and you might not even know it.
Right.
And who's to say, like, also, like, the impact on that person, who else that impacts because of the impact it had on them.
Yeah.
And so we just don't know. So sometimes when you help somebody out or you pour good into somebody, somebody's like, well, I'm not really getting any good back. But you don't really know that. You don't know when it's coming, what time. You don't know that. Maybe it wasn't for that person. Maybe they didn't use it, but they went and said it to somebody else.
Right.
And now it impacted somebody else. You just don't know.
No, you don't know. And it's funny you say that, because I had a friend who used to be a coworker. She actually reached out and was asking about gridiron, and she was thinking about taking her and her son and going. And then I have a really good friend of mine I grew up with. She's my favorite first baseman of all time I used to play with.
Wow.
And she'll know who I'm talking about. But she works out at home. And we talk, and when I was feeling sick a couple weeks ago, she had been going through the same thing. And she actually even said, now that we've changed, we know how to push through it. And, we were out for a couple of days, but now we start back.
There you go.
Whereas before we wouldn't have done that. So she's on her journey as well. And
it's powerful. It's like, it starts with you showing up for yourself.
Absolutely.
But by you showing up for yourself, it actually helps other people realize that they can show up for themselves too.
Yeah, and I never, like I said, when I started posting, I never would have thought that.
That's how it usually goes.
And that's not why I started it. And like I said, it was just to keep myself accountable.
Yep.
And, then, I have people message me, or they'll text me, and they'll say, thank you for posting. I look forward to your post. So.
Yeah. And same for me. I could have never, once upon a time, you'd ask me, will you ever think about training people? I'm like, no. What are you talking about? Training people? Like, I don't even know what I'm doing myself, let alone train other people. So once again, it's like, everybody starts somewhere.
Right.
And then over time, these things kind of take root, and then it turns into something else. How did you even feel looking at Rosalind's video?
Oh.
Like, when you seen the video, what she did even in her first workout and blowing her mind, all that stuff, like, what went through your mind?
I had tears in my eyes. I was so happy for her, and to see where she was talking about, because I've experienced with my own family how she had to put her hands down, and then she's just getting up. It was just in hearing her talk, and how the time is now, and she said a coffin.
That was big.
It was a coffin, and I understand. I totally understand where she's coming from, and just to see her do that, and her is like, oh, I can do that.
What?
I can do that. And when you told her the higher one, you said she didn't think she'd be able to do it, but now the lower one, she's like, oh, I think I can do that.
I can do that. She didn't even do it yet.
Yeah.
It's the mindset.
So it was just like, I was sitting there just looking at it, and I just had tears in my eyes. I was just so happy for her.
Wow. And it all started with you.
It's crazy to think.
Fantastic job. Just everything you've been doing. I know you're going to go even further. You're just getting warmed up. Very impressed. I definitely want to give you your flowers, because you've been doing an amazing job, and you're impacting lives.
Thank you.
On the side of being a mom, you're already going to impact lives. On the side of being a teacher, you're automatically going to impact lives. And now you're doing it on this side of things too, even with your action. You're not just talking about it in the classroom.
Right.
You're actually living it and being it too.
Oh yeah.
And that's very, very powerful.
Oh yeah. I call them my kids, and I tell them the first day they come in when we're going over the syllabus, I'm like, you're now part of you're my kid.
Yeah.
I'm gonna treat you like my kid. And
that's the best teachers right there.
You're my kid, and you, no matter if you're only in here for one semester, you will forever be a part of. You will always be my kid. And I'm very blessed that I still have former students to text me, and some that I taught in Virginia that'll text me on Mother's Day.
Wow.
And Happy Mother's Day, and you know
I have no doubts that you're a lot of people's favorite teacher.
That
and
is,
even down the road, I have no doubts.
That is my thing, and you know, even I tell them, like, if you're having a bad day, let me know. You know, if you're not feeling, just let me know. We don't have to talk about it.
Yeah.
But I want them to know that I'm there if they need me, and you know, if they're going through something at home, or you know, these kids go through so much and we don't know about it, and you know, sometimes they just need to chill out, and sometimes that's the place they get rest.
Yeah.
Their home life might be crazy, and there might be fighting, and there might be abuse, and when they come in my classroom, that's the only quiet time they get.
Yeah.
And so, you know, if they want to sleep for a little while, I'll catch them up later.
Yeah, dang, that's huge.
You know, because I think a lot of people just don't, you know, it's scores and testing, and they forget these kids they have a lot of baggage, some of them. And, you know, I've had the opportunity, I taught at Union, and I taught at Midway, and I taught in Virginia, and kids are kids.
Yeah.
It's just some of them are going through other stuff, and, you know, and I tell them too, it's like, you know, find that outlet, whether it's drawing, whether it's working out. Find that outlet that you can do for yourself that helps you get through whatever it is you're going through.
Yeah.
It might be cooking. And I have some that aren't the best students, but you put them in that kitchen.
And they can throw down.
And they can throw down. They can throw down in that kitchen. And it's just like, wow, you don't really do your work, and you don't want to turn your work in, but I bring you in here, and you're like, okay.
Yeah.
So they, you know, just finding their stuff. And I think as adults, some adults haven't even found their go-to, their niche, their stress relief.
Wow, I love it. Is there anything that comes to mind that you have not shared that you would like to share, to help inspire, motivate, like anything you want to say?
I would say just taking the first step is the hardest part.
Yep.
Because taking that first step of going into the gym on Good Friday,
Yep.
that was my first step. And listening to yourself, but affirming to yourself, I can do this.
Yep.
Negative thoughts are gonna come in, but you just have to say. And I tell my own kids, you have to change your way of thinking.
Yep.
And I'm like, I still have to change my way of thinking on a lot of stuff.
Yep.
But change your way of thinking, and you can do it. And push yourself to that limit, and then go past that limit.
Yep.
Always, you know, and reach out for help. Reach out for help.
Absolutely.
You know, like Miss Bird did, and you know, there's a wealth of knowledge in the gym. And you know, I even talked to the man who helped me move the thing down. I talked to his daughter. She's an SRO officer at Plainview, and I told her because he had told me that she was there, and we did the grad walk last spring, and I went to her. I said, I know your dad. And she's like, that's funny you said that. She said, because some people look at him and they think he's mean and tough and a brute.
I know who you're talking about now. It just clicked in my head. I know who you're talking about. Yeah, he's very chill, but the vibe, if you were just looking at him, I could see how people could assume.
Yes.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes.
Yep.
And she's like, it's funny you said it because people think he's, you know, mean. And I was like, oh no, he's very, very sweet.
Yeah.
So, you know, but that's how it was with my kids too. But my students, I should say, my students. Because some students, they get bad raps.
Yeah.
And you know, they come in my room, I'm like, look here, we're going to be by the book.
Yeah.
But some of, I like quote, the bad students.
Yep.
And it's my husband's, he'll say, you get along with, you connect with those students. And I do.
Yeah, I think sometimes it's also the label that gets placed on people.
Yes.
So it's like if you already know you're labeled as being bad, you already like in a way, especially when you start to believe it, you confine yourself into this box, and now you're living up to the things that check off being a bad student.
Right.
Versus when you finally get the teacher that's not really labeling you as bad, and now it's like you're a person.
Right. Oh yeah,
It's like different.
Well, and I said all the time. I had a teacher back in college that said, "Remember what it was like when you were a child." Yeah. And so many people forget that.
Yep.
And
wow, that's huge.
So you remember what it was like when you were a child, and today it's crazier with all the vape pens that are laced with fentanyl, and the social media and all these other stuff, and parenting is a lot different than it was when I was growing up. And, so many parents, aren't really active in their children's life, and they don't take an active part in it. I'm not trying to fill that void by no means, but I want them to know, if you have a question, or if you're not, your life questions, come to me. It's okay. And so, I'll have kids that'll come out and say, "Can I talk to you for a minute?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Let's go in my office." And my office is the kitchen.
Yeah.
Let's go in my office. So we'll go in the office, and I'll get the other ones going, and it's crazy some of the things that these kids have to go through. Yeah. And abuse, and one of them came in like, "Miss Lane, do you have food?" And they had already eaten breakfast, the free breakfast. They're like, "I'm still hungry." Yeah. Of course I got food. Yeah. So
like, how can you expect them to come in and get the best scores and perform the best and be in a happy attitude when it's like there's so many things sometimes going on behind the scenes, but they just kind of want to be seen.
Yeah. Well, and then sometimes some of them they'll act out in class, and I'm like, "Okay, what's going on with you today?"
There you go.
Something's off. So I'll just take them out in my room, my office, or we'll go out. I'm like, "What's going on with you?" Something.
There's not enough. Yeah, there's not enough of teachers like you.
Yeah,
that look beneath the surface and not just a surface level. This is what's happening. There's a reason why this happening, and you normally act this way, and so because you pay attention, you can see the pattern change. Yeah. So it's like this is how you normally are, and today you're like this. Hey, let's talk a little bit. Now I'm not trying to scold you. I'm not trying to whatever.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah. So I was very fortunate when I was in college to have professors that were older. But they would say, get to know them. Don't just look at them as a student. Get to know them, and then they will do anything. They will do so much better. I mean, I had a student one time that he was, bless his heart, he slipped through the cracks. He needed help. Yeah. And he was very low performing, but he was such a good athlete. And we'd go in the kitchen, and he wouldn't eat the food, and he'd sit there. I'm like, "Look, you got to do something to get a grade." I was like, "Grab the broom, sweep, something." So he'd go in, he'd sweep. Wow. So that's how he would get his. But we ended up becoming so close. Dang. And he'd come up to me, and he would say, "How you doing, Elaine?" And when he graduated, he was struggling to graduate. And he had one class where he needed to pass, and he was struggling. And the principal came, he was like, "We got to get your son graduated." Wow. And I said, "What you need me to do?" And so he would come during that class. I'd get the work from that teacher, and he'd come to me where I had class, and I'd get my class going, and he'd sit at the back table, and I'd go back there, and we would go over his stuff for that. Wow. He ended up passing with C.
There you go.
And he could do it.
Yeah.
He needed help. He needed that one-on-one help, and he wasn't getting it. So
it's such a fundamental stage for kids too. Like, they need that extra nurturing, that extra guidance, but a lot of times it's not. It's just very rigid. So,
right, and that comes into adults. Sometimes we need extra help. We need extra guidance.
Yeah. Which a lot of times is because you didn't get it when you was younger.
Right.
So now you're still the adult in that kid, like you have an adult body, but you're still kid-like inside.
Right. Yeah. So sometimes we need that push, and sometimes we need that help. So.
What's something that you would say or you want to say to the future version of you?
thank you for taking that first step and starting and getting your life on track, and keep going. Don't look back.
Wow.
Keep going. There's a reason the rearview mirror is smaller than the windshield.
Absolutely. I've said that before. So true.
Yep. You know, it's there. You can see it.
Yep.
But that windshield's bigger. So just keep going.
Don't project that rear view
No.
onto your future.
No, keep going. I'm gonna keep lifting the weights. Keep with the cardio. And you know, and when I go in there, I change things up from where I started to now. My routine is totally different.
Yeah.
But it's working, and I always welcome to change and tweak things and to get better and to get stronger. But yeah, keep going. Don't forget where I was. But
huge.
But keep going.
Love it. Is there anything else you want to say or anything you want to ask?
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you,
Thank you.
because I still remember the first time we even spoke.
Yeah.
I was at the machine. You came up and you said, "I see you. I see you working. You're working hard," and that made an impact on me.
Wow.
Because it reaffirmed that other people see me.
That's crazy. You just reminded me when you said that. I was training a client at the time, and it was on my heart to speak to you. And I remember even saying to the client, I like using things as real world examples too. So I remember even saying to that client, like, watch this. Because I'm like, you never know the impact that it's going to have on somebody. I'm not going into it with any kind of intention. I'm just saying what's on my heart, and then whatever's meant to take root is going to take root. I never knew we was going to be doing a podcast episode. I was just doing what was on my heart. God already knew, and who's to say who's impacted because of it started with you're doing a great job. Yeah. And who's to say who this impacts because of starting with that first step?
In fact, I even made a Facebook post on my Facebook post. And we weren't even Facebook friends, but I even made the post, and I talked about you being in their training and how much that meant to me.
Now, I didn't even know that.
No, how much that meant to me, and because that's when I was first starting out, and you want to see results, like that instant gratification. You want to see results, and sometimes you might not see it, but then you get a compliment saying, "I see you. You're working hard," and it was just. That helped me tremendously. So, thank you.
Well, thank you. Thanks for coming on the podcast. New Birth Fitness. We're here and we're back at it again.
Yes.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
When you think the episode is over and the talking continues.
Yeah, just looking back at the even the weights, how much my weight has changed. I haven't been this size probably in close to 20 years. Close to 20 years. And everybody keeps asking me, are you going to lose more? You want to lose more? I'm like, just going to see what my body does.
Wow.
Just going to see where it takes me. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, and if I lose, I lose.
See, that's huge. Now at this point, it's not, I got to be this or got to be that. It's like, I'm just going to keep doing, and what's meant to happen is
Yeah, because I got to 80.
This has brought another thought to my mind that I want to challenge you in a different way.
Okay.
You want to take a challenge?
Sure.
Okay. I think you've been showing up consistently. It's super easy for you to post. You post a caption with some words. You'll post a picture of you, post a picture of the gym. What I don't see from you as much as video.
Yes.
And I think I've told you this before. But you have a lot of wisdom. You have a lot of experience. A lot of people can relate to you. And technically, you're spending almost the same amount of time as it would take you to take out your phone and do a 30-second video.
That's true.
There's so many things that people found out about you in this episode that they never would have knew otherwise. Right. That they're going to get impacted by, that if they got to see that on a regular basis too. Yeah. Hey, the different thought. Hey, today I woke up, I didn't even want to get out of bed. Yeah. Here I am. Yeah. Okay. Hey, I was sick for 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah. I'm back in here as soon as I'm ready. Most people are like, that can be enough to throw them off where they're not going back no more. Yeah. And you showed back up again. Yeah. The things you're proud about, the things you're excited about. Okay. Like, there's just so many of those things I feel like you have a lot of value to give people, and they're getting a fraction of it versus what you actually really can give. Okay. Challenge accepted. Challenge accepted. Challenge accepted. So when are you going to post your first video? I'll do it Monday. Looking forward to it. Tag me. Monday. Oh, I will tag you. All right, perfect. I'll do it Monday.